Hi fight fans, so this is Ray, this is Split Decision Boxing. So it's now Monday morning, 2 days after what we all saw at Las Vegas on Saturday night, when Tyson Fury unthroned the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Mr. Deontay Wilder. But he didn't just unthrone him, did he? Let's be honest, it was one of the most clinical, brutal destruction and tearing apart of someone that there's been in a ring for many times. And Tyson said he was going to do this. Tyson Fury predicted that he would knock him out in the second round, and in fact he put him down in the third round. So, but the truth of the matter is, you know, this was supposed to be the biggest hitter on the planet against a boxer, and what we saw was somebody. Tyson Fury was faster, stronger, fitter. He just looked, in every department, he was better than Deontay Wilder. I don't know what had happened to Deontay Wilder, because he looked pretty good when he came into the ring. He had the normal swagger, wearing the mask, wearing the, all in black, and trying to intimidate Tyson Fury. But that's just not ever going to happen. I don't think, is it? He's a traveller for a start, and travellers don't. Gypsy families are not easily intimidated by their very nature. But what we saw there was, it looked like, do you know what the best way I can put this is that the school bully who's been the school bully for the last few years, all the time he's been at school, and he walks around with a swagger saying that he's the main man. Well, he picked on a wrong kid, didn't he? And it was almost as if or someone's older brother has turned up at school and give this kid a bashing, because it's what it was like. It was like he was getting beat up, He was getting... whatever punch Tyson Fury decided to throw landed. Uppercuts, over-the-top rights, the jab, hooks, body shots. Let's not forget the body shots. They were great body shots. One of them put him down on the floor. That was just every. You want to be a boxer, right? There's two fights that I would recommend that you look at to say, if I want to be a complete boxer and I want to have all the tools in my box, watch this fight. Okay, watch Tyson Fury in this fight. Also watch the Anthony Joshua versus Ruiz rematch and see AJ's performance in that fight as well. Both of those are boxing masterclasses. And do you know what a beautiful thing? I'm so excited about this, because the most beautiful thing about this now, the UK, Britain, England, let's be more specific, shall we? England now has all the belts. All the belts. You got that, America? You used to rule the world. You used to be the kings of heavyweight boxing, and we couldn't get a look in. Now we rule the world. We got every single belt, and that's how it's going to stay, I think, for a long, long time. Everyone's going to be calling out, shouting for a AJ Tyson Fury fight for a unification, and that does have to happen somewhere down the line. But there's many a slip twixt cup and a lip, if you know what that means. That really basically means that a lot of things could happen between now and then. I don't think that will be the next fight, as much as Mr. Eddie Hearn would like that to be, because he can see the pound notes being printed with his name on as we speak. I think there's a clause for a third fight for Deontay Wilder. So you have to ask the question, based on his 2 performances against Fury in America, will he want the 3rd fight? I think he might be a little bit weary now, because he looked like a man who was finished. He carried no threat about him at all. Even when he did hit Fury, he hit Fury in the first round or 2. He hit Fury a couple of 3 times, flush on the chin, and Fury soaked that up. Whether it was the extra weight he was carrying for this fight, but bear in mind, so was Deontay Wilder. So they were both carrying extra weight. But whether that just made a difference and enabled him to absorb the energy from those punches that Wilder threw, I don't know. But he they didn't really have any effect on him at all. He was almost clean. When at the end of the fight, there was hardly a mark on him as well. When you look at the state of Wilder, blood coming out of his ears, busted lip, and he looked like someone who had a real pace in him. And you have to wonder now, now that he's been found out, if you like, is his heart now going to be in it? Has he got what it takes now to do what Anthony Joshua did and pick himself up from this defeat and come back to Tyson Fury and say, let's go again? And more importantly, if they do go again, has he got the weaponry? Because all he really has, and I don't care, I'm going to get slated for saying it, he can't box. He doesn't move around very well on his toes and, dance around left to right and bob and weave. He does none of that. He relies on stalking his opponent and landing the bomb. And if you can either take that bomb and not have an effect on it, which is what Tyson Fury did for the first couple of rounds, or nullify that by, being clever enough and slick enough to avoid that bomb, you're gonna beat Wilder, right? I think they'll be queuing up to fight him now. So will he want the 3rd fight and the chance to get his WBC back? You could say, well, it's all he knows, and it probably is all he knows. But you could also say, well, he must have made enough money now to sit back and enjoy his retirement, enjoy his money, enjoy his family, enjoy his legacy of the fact that, despite what anybody says, and who am I to question the quality of his opponents, but despite what anybody says, phenomenal record, unbeaten run, phenomenal record of being a heavyweight champion of the world. You can't knock that. You don't get to the top and stay at the top by not being any good. All right. So let's get that clear. What I'm saying is that I think some of his opponents were quite carefully selected to almost, and there's never a guarantee in the heavyweight division, but to almost weigh the odds up on his side that he would remain heavyweight champion of the world. So he might just, say, what, I've had a good run, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to leave it now to the big boys. Because the big boys now are Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. They are the 2. That's the fight everybody wants to see. That's the fight I want to see, man. God, Jesus, do I want to see that fight. In the UK, at Wembley, something like that, Wow, what a night that's going to be. And right now, at this moment, could I call it? No. Because, Tyson Fury, for me, he's at his prime now. He might be getting better. If he improves on that performance, which is very difficult to do, but if he improves on that performance, yeah, I can see him beating AJ. If AJ brings his A game the same game he brought against Ruiz in their rematch to the ring and improves on that performance, I can see AJ winning. So, and the other thing now we've got to think about, and the one man I feel sorry for, I've been a big fan of his from, I've waved his flag for him for a few years now, is our other heavyweight, number one mandatory contender, is Dillian Whyte. Where does this now leave Dillian Whyte? Okay, so if Wilder had won on Saturday, Dillian Whyte was mandatory. He's next in line for a shot. But now that Fury has won, and with the rematch clause in, and that's going to put him back, I don't know what, 8 months, something like that, for a shot, because there'll be this fight first, and then, depending on the outcome of that, White then might get his shot. Or it might not even work like that. It might work that, everyone gets their heads together and they agree that it'll be Fury and AJ next. But whatever happens, it won't be Wilder. It won't be Dillian Whyte. So as great as it is for boxing, it's another setback for poor old Dillian Whyte. And I do feel sorry for him, because he's a champion in weighing, and every day that goes by, your body gets a little bit older and a little bit to nearer to the end of your game. So that's the situation there. But anyway, what a fantastic night. Let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks. I'm sure we'll start hearing about rematches or possible unification fights. It could be that Deontay Wilder bides his time, lets the unification fight take place between AJ and Fury, has a couple of fights himself, gets himself back in the right place, gets a couple of big scalps. Maybe he fights White. Let's assume he beats White. I'm not saying he would, I'm just saying let's assume he does. It might be then that by the time he actually gets his shot back, another shot at the heavyweight title, the belts might already be unified, and it could be a chance that he will win all the belts. That's something worth thinking about. That might be a reason for him to hang on, There you go. Anyway, folks, listen, it's been a fantastic weekend of boxing.